between FM eSports and CEX. It is, of course, FM eSports on the CT side. CEX going to be attacking first, and that's where things went badly for them, and it's not starting off well in this second map as the first kill goes Pulse's way. Stanley going to find Rezu as well. Trade out Neilzinho's life, a 4 versus 3. But the bomb making its way down A long here, and there's no one to stop it. Perhaps they get onto the A site before Weber gets into position.
Yeah, I do think Weber has just enough time, and you can always see a bit of a diversion come out from CeX. They decided to run back towards Todd. Stanley going to pick up 2 back-to-back one-taps for him. Astro is going to hold tight with the Glock, but this time it's no 1 versus 3, it's a 1 versus 4. He's missing a whole lot of shots, but eventually will connect it. But as we said, now he's in that 1v3. Can he make this one work? You know, logic would say almost certainly no, you have to look towards these positions. But one thing he does have at least is a 1 versus 1 potentially in connector, if he chooses to go towards it. But instead, he's making a pathway up towards A now, facing up against Weber. The shots just aren't quite connecting yet again. Here it comes. It's Pulse with the 1 tap, 1 kill. That is going to be the round closed out, taking a page out of Stanley's book there, obviously feeling inspired in that position to do the same himself. And the CEX, they lost the pistol round. It was probably one of their best chances to start building up a lead here on Overpass. Not going to go their way. Chance to find a bit of a counter here, perhaps with the Deagle's Tech 9s they purchased up, armor, and a bit of flashbang smoke as well. Going to be trying to challenge this mid area here, but FM are going to fall back, look to take closer range battles with their UMPs, just shred the armor that is being purchased up from CEX and build up that economy. This economy is such a big thing after all, so stressing that is by far a good call. But for now, it is just a waiting game almost, though, to see kind of how these UMPs gonna play. Are we gonna see some early frags, or isn't the latter end? Of course, you know, both of those statements really leave no room for a victory for CEX, and it's kind of fair enough when you see this take place. Weber gonna waltz into the future, picks up a double kill, then darts on back as he stares back into the crystal ball. Look now for JD. Yep, he's gonna find it as well. Look at the health bars of LS and Rezu there. Not looking good. Going to be easily finished off by Neilzinho and Pulse alike. 2-0 on the board here. A clean economy round builder for FM. All the kills, I believe, were via UMP. Of course, it makes it easy when you do have 4 of them. And so the great kill bonuses coming through. And another chance to do it all again, as CEX, they didn't get a bomb plant down in either of the rounds, so they do not have a purchase here in round 3. Pistols galore. We'll have to see which direction they go. It's going to be Pulse peeking and finds 1. Doesn't take a single piece of damage. Molotov goes out. He finds another 2, making it look easy with the UMP. In fact, it's just 1. I got excited because I saw the kill feed was still there. Weber is going to find 1 for himself, and Pulse looking to make a USP kill come through. Is going to connect it as well. Just leaves LS there. Going to be him falling. CEX once more. Clean round for FM. They don't get a single frag. Now they get the AKs. Perhaps this is where they make something happen. Well, they need to make something happen. They don't want to give a team like FM that kind of 5-0. We talked about CEX and how they would throw it away. FM, I don't know if I could argue that they would. I think towards kind of the end of the half, yeah, we saw some issues, but also for them, it's a reality check that they shouldn't be doing that. They know that the scoreline could be much harsher, and this is the way they kind of want to start this show. We are going to see CEX try and push their buttons towards B, though, and if there's one thing CEX do, it's overuse sites on Overpass. We've seen them go B literally, like, I think it was 6, 7, even 9 rounds in a row at one point when we watched them play this map, so they got to be careful, and already they're going to run straight in towards the smoke. It looks like a duel could go their way towards barrel. Well, I'll either see a trade. Well, not yet. The Pulse is coming forward with his UMP. Does get 1 kill for himself, but 1 is not enough in this scenario. 4 onto the site. The smokes have gone down. Stanley to throw a Molotov to try and burn Astro alive. Does do a bit of damage. 21 HP. But he is going to get the bomb down. No! The Kobe comes through, finishes the job. A minute left, plenty of time, but it's given FM position to start taking down these terrorists, and CEX now a little bit dazed and confused as to what just happened, how they have not got the bomb down yet. For JD, he's holding this angle towards Monster. Have to see if they just back down through connector. Looks like it is going to be Neilzinho going through connector back towards B short here. They have 2 angles to cover. It's good stuff for FM. They've got that AWP up high and the UMP down low. But LS is looking to try and take the fight to the UMP. Make sure he doesn't sneak up behind. 30 seconds left on this clock here. Flakes. Time's are ticking. JD needs to get this bomb down. Yeah, he's got to go fast almost. And Well, just plays to the back. He gets the 1 versus 1 on towards LS, as you mentioned, and this leads the fateful end for JD now, where he knows a plant has to be laid to rest. But after that, where does he go from there? Molotov is going to try and force him out of position. A flash is going to go off as well. That makes him turn even further. Shoot does get the first frag, the headshot on towards Weber, but then worrying about short as well. There's just so much to ask of him.
Zinho playing it cool and collected. A smoke to go down onto the bomb. He also has a defuse kit as well. We've seen him make this work before. Well, it didn't quite, but it was very close. Flashbangs stops the defuse, looking for the high angle, but it feeds into JD's AK. And a round win for CEX. Very calm play from JD. Takes both 1v1s intelligently to win the round for CEX.
Yeah, slight delay from FM with that short push really just kind of lead towards almost just more questions to be raised, and a very odd round, but one that certainly has to be led to the brains of JD kicking into high gear, as you mentioned. And this is their first round as well, right? So kind of when you look at this in tow, you're going, okay, where's the second round at? Don't get reset in a fashion like this, because you're looking at 4-1, 5-1 anyway if you do get reset. So in order to get value out of that clutch, they have to step up for him in this round. They're always just playing in his honor.
Well, let's see if CEX can raise their flag. Their couples in the honor of JD. Astro loses his life, but JD is there to hold the body together. Brody does fall though, so it is the advantage currently in CEX's FM's hands, as CEX regather the bomb, make their way back towards the connector, but that is where Stanley is lurking down below, looking to try and catch them out as they go through this door. They're going to peek him, look for the kill, unless though he loses his head. So does Rezu. JD able to hold him back, but it is now a clutch scenario, and there's one added boss for FM. It's the second round, the second level. It gets difficult as it goes on. He's looking to try and get towards the A site here, but he's going to have to go through Nilzinho.
It's a tough obstacle to face for him now as he begins. He looks for that first shot, but unfortunately now presented with a second to worry about after really strict dumpster. I mean, there are just too many angles for him to really have to handle. He eventually will get knocked on through. The heat just gets too hot. And FM get that 4-1 scoring that we talked so nervously about. So now CX, they have to kind of go, okay, what are we going to do here? We've got some Glocks at the moment. Are we going to buy up any P250s, buy up anything at all, or just sit tight and keep what we've got at hand?
Unfortunately for CEX, there are no game saves in Counter-Strike. You are back to level 1 once more to make that first clutch happen and bring yourself back into the game. And Weber's going to pose a threat with that AWP. Brody, though, he rushes forward. He's looking to get the kill, and he will. Trades 2 of his opponent teammates' lives, and they will be able to get that AWP into their hands as well as an M4. So, makes things a little bit more even for CEX. They don't have armor, but they have guns. Perhaps they can use them to breach a site.
Yeah, certainly would be a window of opportunity, something you can try and take advantage of. As it is going to be CX to cluster up over towards A long, but you can see Astro's got something to say about that, as he butts against them face first. His own teammate's trying to really kind of almost pin down his aggression over the communication lines right now, as he decides to change their pace for them, forces them over towards turrets, forces them back towards party. Spending a lot of valuable time, but with a minute on the clock, you can afford it.
Nothing to say here as Frey finds the flank, but he doesn't actually get value from it. That could have been so good for Frey, and he held his wits about him, but he missed the killing shot onto Astro. Couldn't quite connect into the head of Astro's body. And so now 42 seconds remaining. Nilzinho says here's how it's done. Astro AWP in hand. It is his preferred weapon. 15 HP though doesn't make it easy. And the bomb, it's at the feet of Nilzinho.
May well be his preferred weapon, but where is he going to run towards this? Decides to opt for connector. But that's an angle that's already being covered. One that is pretty much in check by Stanley, as he will find that frag and really does cement the feet now of FM. They are building things up, 5-1. CX kind of still waiting. Still just perched, going, where did it all go wrong?
That is some intuition from Frey coming out there to turn around when he didn't see anyone was on A long and just figure that they must be in mid, making a rotation somewhere about on overpass. And now CX are going back to Old Faithful. It is the B site, but this time it's a strong defense from FM. Just leaves Rezu alive into 2. He is going to just find 1 for his effort. 6-1 now for FM eSports here, as CX are starting to get a little bit stomped in this first half. Like their game against Endpoint on Overpass, they're just not finding an entry into the game, which means that their score line is being pretty much paused by FM.
I mean, the thing is, right, is that CX and Overpass, they just have a whole load of vulnerabilities that can be exploited by your opposition. I mean, B-site is just one of them in a giant kind of envelope present, because every single time CeX push B, they leave a window open. They leave an opportunity for FM just to put a player in there, to flank them from behind, flank them from that side angle, and just get a double kill. Even get a singular frag. You know, you talked about throwing that last round. Him just getting a frag there was information. It was dominance to be assertive.
Yeah, absolutely. For CeX, they don't quite know where to go from this. They have guns in their hands. They're trying to contest the B site here from afar. You can see so much damage is just being put down across the board. Unfortunately for Nilzinho, he is the one who is lacking the most HP as he gets sprayed through the wall. But for FM, it's not necessarily detrimental to their B site defense. Here comes CeX though, they're committing once more, and Rezu's going to run into two. Frey, still and Monster, going to find another. Astro likely to peek, as is JD, but they don't do it at the same time. The flashbang prevents them. JD though, able to find Frey's head, but Stanley will trade. It's 3 versus 2 now, as Astro looking to find Pulse through the smoke, spots the head and lands the shot. The bomb shall go down here for CeX. Brody and Astro to defend it against Weber and Stanley, who have 23 HP between them.
Stanley, though, is going to get himself up on towards short. That should be a bit of a sporting act. Weber is going to spot out that player on site. That misses the crucial shot, but Stanley will cement that frag. Their boots are well and truly stuck on the ground at this point, as Brody see. All or nothing for him now. That low HP player really does help him, but the flashes are so good right now. Stanley gets the jump, misses a few shots, but buys more time for Weber to be the distraction up towards heaven. FM, they will take this win. There's no better way to highlight what I was just talking about. Notice how FM on that site hold, the minute they saw any sort of push formulate from CeX, what did they do? They charged Monster as a double up push. They got that first frag and they knew there wouldn't be any more players there. They knew 100% that CeX were going to send 4 towards short, which meant they had Monster control and they could almost start a retake early on, which caught CeX off guard. It took them down to that 2 versus 4 situation and just wrapped it out of control within mere seconds.
Maybe CeX are planning a trip to Brazil here, but it's not working out for them. The vacation going to have to be put on hold currently, as once more they commit back to the B side, which they feel familiar with, but they're not quite finding the openings that FM have. The German efficiency for FM very strong. That frag does do a little bit of damage, but not as much as I would have expected. Now the CeX lineup are onto the B site. The trade kills, flashbangs, holding down their sprays, but look at where all the CTs are, grouped up in one place. And they're going to start to get smoked out. Utility being thrown in the general direction of FM. It's good stuff by CeX. They have 4 members on site versus the 4 of FM. A much harder site to retake here for FM, and time will be against them.
The most frustrating thing as a commentator is when you just almost give compliments to a team, you pay respect for them play, and then they do the complete opposite in the next round. That's what FM have currently done. LS is going to try and step up the play here. JD, another one on towards Fry. This round is almost looking done and dusted. This City side retaking this will be so damn tough. Nilzinho, though, on towards Astro, brings it to a 2 versus 2, but LS should be able to find one, make that potentially a second, but Weber still shooting with his pistol. JD in the smoke, knife out, AWP in play. Realizes the jump has been missed. JD is going to slip on off the back of that. Finds himself the frag on towards Weber, and it is going to be just a round for them to try and play with.
Very nice from CeX. The ability to get onto the site and have 4 members there does just make things very hard. And you are right, FM, they've been playing this game almost perfectly so far, and then they changed things up very unnecessarily, and you can see what the result of that was. An opening for CeX to get in, and an opening won by CeX as well. I expect FM not to make the same mistake again. They'll put a little bit more force onto the B side, make sure they're playing a little bit more proactively here on their CT side, and stop the force of CeX, which is currently halted. LS starting to burn. Wonder if they heard that as he makes his way up the ladder swiftly. Looks like FM want to push the advantage, try and get up close. This is the wrong ways that you play Counter-Strike. Usually it's the terrorists that push into the CTs, not the CTs into the terrorists. FM are going to realize that and just leave Pulse in a position to try and hold that one entry point here from CeX. It prevents the map movement for CeX. It gives a lot of power to FM. Now they've got the 2 men split between the sites. They don't really need Pulse to do anything but stop them from coming through tunnels.
Having control of Connector is so powerful for Pulse right now, but he flicks away at just the worst possible time. LS is going to take advantage of that, drops down, and with just a split second gets himself that one tap, and everything they worked to gain in terms of Connector control, in terms of shutting down a fast-paced CeX rotate, they've just lost off the back of that small micro decision just to check left for a short second. So now CeX, they're in control of the situation. It's FM put back on the passive front. Now, we've just seen FM play passive. It was pretty damn tough on B. How's it going to go down towards this A site?
Much harder to take here, but much easier to hold once you have taken it. So for CEX, a grand opportunity to put 3 on the board here as long as they can clear the angles. Weber, he's a little bit low. Nildinho, though, he's able to find the shots. They do go down. That just leaves Stanley in the backstab, looking to make it a 1 versus 1. Bomb being planted by LS. Does go down. The HE may just land very close. It does. 9 HP, and now Stanley's going to try and push through and finish the job. USP out, and he's got to connect the shots onto LS's dead now corpse. That's going to make the retake possibility very easily for Stanley. Just going to collect as much things as he can, dumping around the place, getting the defuse kits, getting the AWP, and the bomb defusal as well. 8-2.
What a frag grenade. Can we just acknowledge that for a second? That frag grenade landed right on his opposition's head. He walked right into it, had no idea it was coming. That's really, really good. Just no better way to put it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, it's just a smart decision to go for it. Use that utility, something we've stressed already so much within this first series. But either way, to go back to the presents at least, it is 8-2. And CX, they have nothing to spend, they have no business in this round. And that's going to mean that, sure, they're going to try and compete, but they really are outmatched.
This time they're looking to take full control of the connector. The FM are pushed very far up to counter it. They do come A and B. Stanley not able to find the spray that he wanted, the spray of dreams, but maybe Nildinho could do the same. Make it work as Spray comes in for the finishing kill. 9-2, and a very simple round for FM there. A bit of economy built as well with the UMPs. I like the way FM managed to get that into their system. Of course, they did lose 70 members in the previous round, so and they know the economy is weak. So let's get the UMPs out in force and make sure ours is super strong heading into the final rounds of this half.
Yeah, just gonna be making so much money, really just rolling in it at this point. CX though, big difference for them. They're seeking all the handouts they can get here. They've got those 5 AK-47s, and this is a real big one for them. They are going to group up and have to walk through a smoke potentially on towards Monster. Using the Astro to lead the charge, but Priori has to take him down, gets a double kill, looks for a triple. Brody C is going to find the final trade, but Stanley to go aggressive with the M4. Just secures this round practically, because it's a 4 versus 1. Wait, let's cut that one off. Stanley, we get a triple kill.
Easy. Easy, says Stanley. Once Frey had done the hardware for him, it was just a case of committing and lining up the heads. Like ducks, CEX in the pond. Very easy pickings. 10-2 now, round 13, and once more on that pistol buy. Not looking likely that CEX are going to get much more in this half, but maybe a force onto the B side and a bit of luck could help them out here. They need to find Frey up at Toxic Barrels, but Frey is just going to find the heads here. That's 2, 3, and a 4th for Frey. And then looking for the ace. He does it for himself. Maybe not as impressive as Pulse's ace, but it's an ace indeed. You're going to have to give it to Frey.
Yeah, I mean, Brody C was locked in motion at the end as well. He's always just saying there, come, get me, it's all good, I'll let you have it, it's fine. Because at this point, CX, I'm not sure kind of where they're at right now. It'd be hard to say they've lost motivation or anything along those lines, but you can clearly see that they're in a huge dwarfing score. It's 11-2. Where do you go from that? On a map like OFOS,
back to the B side, that's where you go.
Side. I said this would happen on the B side, and it's no surprise, really it is, but it's not worked.
It hasn't. Only one round won here so far. Perhaps it was 2 actually, it was. So I guess they've got the best success on the B side, but it's not looking good. Stanley peeks aggressively and finds JD's butt. And so now for CEX, they've already lost 1 member, and it was what helped them out so much was that many men on the site. And look, they've already got the rotation coming in from behind. Pulse is lurking, and he's going to find Rezu, looking to line up a flashbang. He's going to go in, just looks for everyone. They know there must be water, and Pulse is going to find another. That just leaves it easy. What is that Molotov throw from Brody? Perhaps not necessarily to get any advantage, but he is able to pick up Stanley. Not Frey though. That will be the round ended. As we head into the last round of the half here, CEX, I'm not sure they have the money even to purchase up anything substantial, so very likely looking at a 13-2 here for FM. Now switching sides, I guess for CEX, they are on their CT side, it's their stronger side. Maybe they can make something happen.
You're a man with a dream, you're an optimist, I'll give you that. Clearly, glass half full, but I'm right now rocking the empty side, I think. Triple op setup, of course, for FM too. I mean, why not rock the confidence right to the very end? But they're also making it work. Fry going to get himself that first pick, will look for a second just holding, and the aggression has been so just artistic on the FM side. And look at Fry just carved them to pieces now. The M4 as well is going to play around Pillar. That job is just to pin down Monster. The ADP towards Sparrows as well. it all just tots up into one hell of a recipe. FM 13-2.
Very clean stuff there from FM, taking that half very convincingly. And it is looking likely that CeX are going to be exiting this game at a very miserable scoreline for them, which is very unfortunate considering the Map 1 game was close, in fact advantageous for CeX at many points throughout the game.
Just before we dive into this pistol round, I do want to ask a question. Best of 2 in a veto, why would you allow overpass in? You always have the opportunity to ban down those maps. It's not even a question, I guess. It kind of answers itself, right? CeX, overpass, just ban it. Get it out.
It's hard. For CeX, I guess there's many maps that they don't want to play in, and without us actually seeing the veto itself, it's hard to really go through the thought process here of CeX. Maybe they want to train, but FM wouldn't allow it, who knows. Good start though. Rezu's finding the first frag, the USP lethal at range, but he's down to 1 HP. He's going to have to rely on the backup of Astro here to find another frag, but it looks like FM, they're going to start the rotates forward towards the B site to get the bomb over there as well. Plenty of time to play with, and it's the optimal way to play overpass, really. Tick the clock down to the last second before you plant the bomb and keep your opponents guessing until the last minute.
Talking about opponents guessing, JD is well and truly pushed up. He's waiting for the C-side to walk right into his arms. As this could be huge for him. Can find 3 kills if he hits his shots, but at the same time, you can still need Xenia beginning to check these angles. They start to realize what's going on, and not a single frag from JD. That right there is tough, because now this B site is wide open. LS is going to be there from Graffiti, and Rezu is so low, but even then they're struggling to land their shots, and that just doesn't serve anything. Stanley going to find the headshot on towards LS. Rezu still 1 HP, bear in mind, something that has to be stressed, but it's not just him anymore. It's the entirety of CEX. 6-5-1. Numbers, but very important ones.
Yeah, absolutely. And currently it is just 7 in the HP department here between both players. But Rezu, he does find a cheeky frag onto Stanley, and Frey is on 3 HP. There are 2 terrorists lurking on short, which will make the defuse hard if CeX were to check it. Rezu trying to take the trade. Astro does find 1 kill onto Frey there, but whether to trade back, good positioning from FM. That is going to push them to 14 here. CeX on their CT side. There is almost no way they can force into a round and be successful against FM, so they are playing down to that 15th round, playing for overtime when you're 2-15 down is not a situation anyone wants to be in.
It really isn't, but hey, we've seen it in the past, but I mean, to beat this, you're looking at beating, you know, almost on par with world records, the Fnatic-style comebacks that we've seen in the past, and I'm not quite sure I can put CeX and Overpass in that same sort of category. It feels almost like injustice to those teams. At least in this one, though, they're proving us wrong with the USPs, but I can imagine, see the trades unfolding in front of my eyes. The Fry is going to bring it back into action, unless it's still swinging over towards B, but it looks like the screwdriver is just being twisted, and FM are going to get that 15th.
See if Astro can make this map 10 work. It is very low, and the smoke will make things hard for him as well. Running out of ammo, not a scenario he wants to be in. Perhaps not running out of ammo. Maybe misread the numbers there, but the bomb is down. There are 3 fairly healthy terrorists on the B site, and CeX, they're holding passively, looking for exit frags, looking for guns to bring into the next round. Anything that they can use to strengthen their chances of finding a single CT round win is what they want here. I would be wanting to take the guns off FM, but I guess the problem with doing so is that FM just upgrade to AKs next round, and it makes things hard. Not going to carry that Mac 10 in. Maybe Rezu can find a single. Him getting out of the scenario alive. 15-2 it is, this match point that we talked about. FM looking to take this 16-2, a dominant win. Let's see how they can. Let's see if they can close it out.
Well, it's a very big question, but one that potentially just fulfills itself. CeX have to start to step up. There is no other choice left in it, but what are they going to show for themselves on their CT side? You can already see FM just charging on forward. Flashes are going to get thrown. Frag grenades are going to land at the feet of Astro, just trying to force him almost to go aggressive here with this M4. Now, this goes one of 2 ways. It goes win-win for him or complete failure.
Let's see. The first frag goes his way, not the second. Stanley will trade that one back, and now things looking desperate here for CeX as the weaponry, it is in the hands of FM eSports. The UMPs for Masters not going to be as influential against the AK, so we'll have to see if CeX now can do anything against this.
FM just 4 frags away from getting themselves on par with Endpoint, drawing in second place on the table of UK Masters. A huge standpoint when it comes down to how playoffs are going to unfold and where they start their journey in that regard. All that stands between them is just those 4 frags. Yeah. But now we wait. Patience, 50 seconds on the clock. Astro, LS, trying to do a bit of damage to their SL. Is going to get himself a double kill. But 2 versus 4. Damage is still being inflicted by FM. Somehow, they're still making it work.
And it's very interesting because CeX, you know, they are tied with Team Xenix, who we're going to see later on against Fish 123. So to try and pull away from their opponents, especially when Xenix are going up against Fish 123, the #1 team in the league right now, it does, it'd be an advantage for them trying to play for that playoff, but like you said, it's an unlikely scenario. It's a fairy tale situation if CeX were to come back from this scenario. They are looking like they might get the round for themselves. 12 seconds left, and Weber not in a great position to plant the bomb as he's getting surrounded by CTs, but he's going to try and do his best anyway, and the bomb will not be planted. It is going to be the 3rd round win, the first CT round win here for CeX. But is the comeback real?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We saw kind of FM do a bit of pepper damage, but they couldn't deal with the 2 versus 4, which is fair play. CeX, at least we get one thing from them. We get kind of the light at the end of the tunnel in terms of them keeping composed.
Well, let's see what they can do. Do have 2 AKs in their hands. They're holding on to that FAMAS in Brody's hand, and lots of utility being purchased up, of course, for CeX. They've got nothing to lose. They need to full throttle into every round possible. There is no chance to lose a round. Well, not an opportunity for them either. LS looking for Weber is able to win out that trade, but it is going to be Nizunio rushing onto the site. Looks like CeX are able to hold it though. A 4th point on the board for them is very important, but it was a pistol round there for FM, so nothing really to celebrate over yet. We need to win a couple of gun rounds, in fact a lot of gun rounds, before we can start getting the hype train going.
Yeah, they just need to kind of prove with those gun rounds, right? Because the thing is, pistol rounds, kind of handling Tech 9 force-ups and the like are one thing. They're a different beast to tackle than a full buy with AWPs, with rifles and such. So for CeX, we do kind of want to see them always faced off against a few trials. It's almost like they're applying for the next big team, the next big sponsorship.
Perhaps, yes, why not? But it's a tough road ahead for them. At the moment, they're holding firm. They're treating the pistol rounds as importantly as they could do, making sure that they go into them almost as cleanly as possible, not giving FM really a leg to stand on. But here it is, the disastrous gun round coming forward. Perhaps for CeX, we'll have to see how they handle. It is the 5 AKs and utility to boot on FM. If CeX are able to win this, then perhaps we start believing, but this is their hardest hurdle yet.
So we said it's a test. We said how? Well, CeX and their trading, that's going to be what FM try to abuse on their T-side right now. Get themselves that first frag and whittle them down from there and claim the advantage. Talking about that, Brody C is going to fall, but JD is going to bring things back. But Stanley, of course, long is aware of the situation and finds just another, does exactly what it says on the tin. 4 versus 3.
Yeah, absolutely. Astro going to make it a 3 versus 3. Makes things a little bit more fun for us, watching at home especially. Can Astro find Stanley here? 12 HP. No, he cannot. Stanley going to hold his wits about him and push us into a 3 versus 2 in favor of FM. Bomb currently sitting up there towards mid. Looks like they will rotate their way over towards the A site, where currently these guys are split between sites. Rezu may find Frey in the tunnels, and he will. In fact, it's good stuff so far as he evens up the scoreline, but there's no one on the A site to defend. Rezu needs to make his way up from behind. In fact, they're both coming from behind here for CeX, so the bomb will likely go down by FM, but where do they plant it is the real question. Will they plant it on the CT side or towards the terrorist spawn? Will play into CX's hand. It will, actually. This could just work out for CeX.
This could be something they try and play with. There's going to be a battle over towards long. LS is going to find us off the frag on towards Stanley. Nilzinho going on the counter-aggressive point. They're looking to catch Rezu off guard, but looks to his left, looks to his right. Doesn't quite realise, but eventually Rezu is going to run away. They're creating space. Nilzinho, he can have a shot here. A flash is going to go off, but now he can actually hold this angle. He can hold the cross. They're going to potentially give him a shot. This is crazy. No Molotov to get thrown.
Don't understand how CEX got them into a scenario where they just gave the power back over to FM, but it's going to be the defuse fake coming through. He is able to land the shots. He's got the 5-second defuse as well. Bomb is ticking, but it looks like it's going to turn white. Saved by CEX.
0.05 seconds. And that's another round where today seems to be the day that I just flat out call team stupid, and I'm okay with that being today, because that right there was a terrible way to play it. CX only lost that round because they didn't play together.
It's the second time.
They tried to go towards long as well with some wacky cross, giving him so much space once they decided to group up. I don't understand, honestly. It's not like Resi didn't spot him either.
As soon as they spotted one player on long, they have to understand that the bomb must be planted in a scenario that the terrorists haven't quite got to the CT side yet. But they do give the advantage over to CEX the second time today. Both times, however, they have had miracles come through, and FM weren't able to capitalize off it. Now CEX with 2 frags straight off the bat on this gun round, looking strong. That's a third JD. He does not want to die. CEX are not going out just yet. They want a 7th on the board. They want to get to that halfway point of coming back and getting to the overtime.
Fair play to them too, has to be said. They're in a 5 versus 2 now. You'd always have to give them a medal if they manage to make mistakes in this one, because it should just be fairly clear cut. Find these players, knock them down.
Don't know if that's a dig at like participation stars.
I see what you're getting at there, in fairness.
But currently they are playing it clean. JD will find Fry there. Just leaves Weber in the 1 versus 5, and he is heading towards mid where there are 2 CTs. JD checking left, checking right. Someone taught him how to cross the road. Is he going to run into Weber is the real question. In fact, Weber's almost bypassed the CT defense. Makes a little bit of noise, and it almost sparks the interest of JD, who's looking intently. JD goes for, but they know he is in this position. 28 seconds to make a rotation. Will he go A or will he go B? It's a thriller here for us as Brody's going to peek up, and Brody's able to close out the round. It is now 7-15. CEX going to force FM into a bit of a interesting position, because as FM, you had the game almost wrapped up 15-2. Should have just closed it out right there.
It's 5 frags. That's all it is. It's not even a round. It's just simply find 5 frags, or even just get a bomb plant. To get that bomb down and close it out. It's 2 different ways you could approach it, but it's something that seems so simple on paper. But in fairness to CX, we might not like some of the rounds. We might have problems with the way they play at times. But they're bringing us on a rollercoaster ride where they're in control.
Well, let's take the ride. Let's see where we go. FM will be looking to derail the tracks, but currently CEX are holding firm. Brakes ready to slow down the momentum that FM has built in this game, making it interesting for us. Entirely unexpected, as it is going to be FM rushing up towards A. Flashbang goes out, but it only does work on FM. Thankfully, they are able to trade it back immediately, and that's another kill going their way. Brody from the staircase, not able to find any kills, and now he's smoked out. Low on HP. It is going to be Rezu trying to flank, but it's not going to happen. 2 CTs in the same position, but they're spraying through the walls and finding the kills here remarkably. This time, though, they are going to just fall back the terrorists and make life miserable for CX, who have to go behind that box to get the defuse. One of the strongest plants in the game. Smoke does go out, but they can spray it if they want. He's sticking the defuse. No, he's not. He is faking. He does die through the smoke. LS has a defuse kit, but he needs to find 2 frags before he can go for it. Pistol out, finds the kill, but can he get the defuse? The bomb ticking. This time, it's looking like it will be just a win. The Kobe goes out, but it is the spray down from Stanley to finish the game. 16-7. FM finally find those 5 frags you were talking about. They are able to close out the round, and they take their series 2-0 over CEX.
Just too many mistakes after all for CX. Yeah, we've been pretty brutal in the way we've highlighted them, and yeah, we said some things that on paper seem very, very harsh, but it's all fair enough, right? I think CX, they had a good standpoint in terms of winning some go-rounds and bringing it back, but they were making plays, they were stepping up to the plate, which is what we needed to see a half ago, 18, 19 rounds ago.
And it's the 4th week. This is where numbers start to mean a lot for CX. A draw there would have put them in a better position. A win there certainly would have put them in a fantastic position as we come off to the playoff stage, but a loss is just